Welcome back to NewsMakers. Our special guest is the Arts Centre Director, Ken Franklin. Now, of course, Richard Sinke has engaged the media over what he calls a gagging clause being inserted into tenants' agreements to stop them speaking out against development projects. Are you seeking to do that?
We have introduced that clause over 2 years ago. It is actually a modification of an existing clause that was in existing leases. No existing tenants are obliged to adopt that change. It's for all new tenants that are coming on or tenants that no longer have any continuing lease term with us. Do
you think it is an affront to one's democratic right to express an opinion about an impending development?
If you're seeking to come on board as a tenant, you will negotiate a range of matters within your lease agreement. And that's one of the things that's there. We're tabling it, we're expecting to engage in debate with prospective tenants. Ultimately, they'll make the call, they want to come on board and be part of this incredible complex and accept the rules that run with it, or they'll seek to change them, or they'll choose not to come on board. That's very democratic as far as I'm concerned.
Does the university have the offer of first right of refusal over any
No
land,
space whatsoever.
Any potential land?
Nope.
Beyond the conservatorium proposal, are there any other joint ventures in the pipeline on the Arts Centre site?
No.
None at all?
Nope.
How much council funding is going to be required for this building? Because, you know, we hear estimates ranging from 12 million to 35 million. What is the figure?
Well, I think the 12 million is closer to the range from my understanding of it.
Is there an absolute ceiling?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's something you'd have to address with the City Council. They're the ones that are certainly putting their hand up to carry the sort of financial responsibility for this project. And I'm sure that that's something that they've considered in detail. It's not something that we've had a huge amount of look at, and it's not something that we've been obliged to either. We're not putting up capital to actually build anything on this site.
All right. There is a perception of an unseemly rush taking place here. The council funding policy has not been finalised yet. The council haven't made a firm decision on that. And of course the resource consent application has been notified. That process is underway. Why the rush? Why not wait until the council make their decision on the funding?
Well, I think that the funding question is independent of the conservatorium.
How is it? Because the university have made it quite clear it will not proceed without council funding.
Have they?
Rod Carr indicated that 3 weeks ago here.
Well, I think that the council isn't necessarily the only option in terms of the manner in which this thing could be financed. And I think we, from our perspective, would certainly like to explore other alternatives if, in fact, the council bails out on it.
So that would be the plan B?
From our perspective, yes.
Would you seek community engagement on that?
I think once we had a range of options that were worth considering, we would definitely welcome.
Why not tell us now?
Well, it's not something that we've actually progressed. Why would we? There's a fairly sound proposal in front of everybody at the moment that seems to be getting a fairly good public hearing. So I think it needs to work its way through that process. In addition, I think that you know, these two matters in terms of financing the project and the actual final form of the design of the project can run side by side. They don't have to be consequential, you know, running in consequence.
I've got 60 seconds left. Question number one. Is the Arts Centre prepared to take this fight all the way to the Environment Court? A bit of an action replay of the museum issue a couple of years ago. Would you go that far?
I think that this will only be considered in light of what comes out of the resource consent hearing. I'm not going to predetermine a position on that. If it looks like it's got merit, then absolutely this is a project we want to promote. Okay.
What's your gut instinct? Will this conservatorium be built at the Arts Centre?
My gut instinct is yes, it will.
Is it a done deal?
No, it's not.
All right. Ken, we'll be happy to have you back down the track to talk about other issues in this unfolding matter as well. I'm sure it's still got a bit to run as well.
I'd be delighted.
Ken Franklin, thank you very much for joining us.
Mike.
Of course, the resource consent is taking your submissions until November 2?
November 2nd, that's
November
right.
2, yeah. Next week on the show, the ECAN chairman, Alec Neil, is with us. I hope you can join us. Good night.